What's good? We back with another video. It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the boxing clinic. One time for the one time. We up in here. Today gonna talk about between Andre SOG Ward and Sergey Crusher Kovalev and the Canelo and Golovkin fight. The winner of these fights, should they be the pound for pound king? And the implications of the fight. Now, I held serve on my word, even though Kovalev lost a close fight. A lot of people thought it was disputed. It was a disputable fight, and I kept Andre Ward. I put Andre Ward at number one after he slid down the pound for pound list, in my opinion, on my list. Members' opinionated mythical list. They started off in the 80s, I believe. He slid down my list due to inactivity, but beating Kovalev put him back on number one. I said that the winner of the fight would be pound for pound number one. Kovalev kept it so close that I kept him at number two, and in my opinion, heads and shoulders above everybody else on the pound for pound list. They are, with their body of work and their skill level is very high, and I don't think anybody has the body of work along with the skill level and experience that they have in the sport of boxing. That's just my opinion. 1A, 1B, you could say it, but I think it's 1-2 Andre Ward. The first fight was labeled pound for pound, and it lived up to the bill. Ward edged them. A lot of people was crying about it, but they don't know how to score a fight, and it wasn't a blowout. Like I said, I did a video on Harold Letterman. He got people thinking that this was a clear-cut, victory for Kovalev, and it wasn't. It was a close fight. The Andre Ward won a unanimous decision, not a majority decision, not a split decision. A unanimous decision on all three scorecards. A close fight, but like I said, he's number one, and Kovalev kept it close enough where, you could have gave it to him as well. I picked him to win the first fight, and he kept it close enough where, you could have picked, he could have won the fight. So it's 1 and 2. As far as the Canelo and Golovkin fight, I know a lot of people that don't even have Canelo in their top 10, or if he's in the top 10, he's in that 10 to 7 range. In Golovkin, some people got him as far as 1, 2, and 3, but I don't see how they do that. And if you watch my channel, you understand my stance on that. Just because you have a nice quantity of fights, 30 fights, and you got 28, 29 knockouts, you got more than that. That doesn't mean that you're the champion, though. I mean, you're a pound for pound champion. Who are you beating? And everybody he beats is a C+ level fighter, and no more than a B- fighter. They try to pump up all his fights that he fights, and he's amazing skill. He has amazing skills, and I understand why people get enamored with him. The way he cuts off the ring and the different punches that he throws from angles. But at the end of the day, he hasn't done it from elite competition. And when he stepped up versus Kell Brook, he started to fall. He started to fade. His skills started to look like, he started to look a little bit diminished. When he moved up and fought Danny Jacobs, when people thought Danny Jacobs won, he looked ordinary. So now he's stepping up in competition a little bit. He's coming back down to earth. But I'm just not enamored to with the quantity of fights. I'm more of a quality guy. And Canelo has a good quality of fights and a good quantity of fights. Matter of fact, and I don't see how some people keep this kid off the list or have Golovkin ahead of him. He's fought the marquee fights. He's been in the bigger fights. He's fought everybody he was supposed to fight. I understand that he did drop the belt. It is what it is. But now he's fighting them, and he's not even electing to fight for the WBC belt. But I think that will change in due time. But as far as that fight, like they trying to build it that those are the two best fighters in the world. Absolutely not. I can name several fighters better than both. But they're the most popular. Triple G gets knockouts, and therefore everybody's starting to take notice. His popularity starting to grow worldwide, and everybody know Canelo from fighting Floyd Mayweather, and and from there his popularity took off. And the one thing that I did notice is he did improve after Floyd Mayweather, believe it or not. But I can't really put one of these guys as the pound for pound champion just off of this fight. It's a huge fight, but I just can't, I can't. I did say that one of these guys who won the Canelo and Triple G fight would be pound for pound number one. I'm going to renege on that for the simple fact that, popularity-wise, I did mention that popularity-wise, yes, they probably will be the most recognized global, pound for pound star in that verbiage, because they're bigger, they're bigger names than Kovalev and Ward, the winner of this fight for sure. No matter how it goes, all eyes will be on them. It will break 1 million pay-per-views. I'm pretty sure about that. Kovalev and Ward might not break 100,000 pay-per-views. So from a popularity standpoint, yes, but from a purist, hardcore boxing standpoint, which some people tend to frown on because purists are just stuck in their ways and they and we know, you know, what great boxing is, and we just not going to accept mediocre boxing, and we can see through the bullshit. And that's why some people frown upon it. So as far as the skill level and who's the best fighter, it'll be between Ward and Kovalev. And as far as who is the most polarizing, popular fighter in the pound-for-pound sense, not even most skilled fighter, but polarizing and popular fighter, is going to be Canelo and Triple G. But we gonna.